oh my gosh, like there are people out there though that like when you're new, you don't realize that like 30 deliverables in exchange for one ticket is like
It's crazy.
absolutely insulting. It is so
Yeah, yeah.
insulting. Like 30 deliverables is like $1,000.
Hey guys, welcome back to Rave Culture Cast, your weekly guide to the EDM community, music festivals, and more. I'm your host, Emma Capotes. Welcome to another episode in 2025, season 8, baby. Oh my God, I'm so excited. We have a really fun episode planned for you guys today. I kind of just had this idea to do this interview with Melanie Monroe, who is somebody I've been chatting with over the past year, who is awesome. She works with the Festival Babes. That's kind of how I connected with her, and she's an amazing content creator and does really awesome tips and advice on her pages. And we were kind of chatting, and I was like, we need a full-blown yap session. I just need to have you on the podcast. Let's just talk. That's kind of going to be a theme going into this year. I gave some updates in last week's episode if you guys want to go check that out, just about what's in store for 2025 and what I've been up to, and some changes coming to the podcast. So definitely go check out that episode if you haven't yet. But things are going to be a little bit more sporadic and spread out. I really am going to be taking a little bit of a backseat on this podcast just because it is a huge investment as far as time and energy and money. And I am just focused on so many other things. So I'm, being transparent, I'm not going to be doing a lot of podcasting this year for Rave Culture Cast. But when I feel inclined and it feels aligned, I want to just be able to pop on the mic here and yap and post it. So I know that might be a little inconsistent, but I don't want to go anywhere. But I just have a lot of other things going on, as is mom life and full-time corporate work life. Anyways, without me yapping on any further, today's guest, Melanie, I'm super excited to have her on. She is about all things festivals, dance music, content creation. And like I mentioned, she is the marketing director for the Festival Babes, if you aren't familiar with them, they are this massive platform that works with female-based creators in our space. And so she helps them with all things marketing, social media, content creation. And then, she shares all of that on her personal pages as well, which is where we connected. She is really trying to help other creators, get their foot in the door and work in the festival industry. And I feel like she's a really great success story because she made it happen very quickly within the last 2 to 3 years. And it can be really hard to break into this industry or get your name out there or network. So if that's something you guys are interested in, that is all the things we're going to be talking about today. But before I introduce you to Melanie, a quick word from one of our sponsors, Lunatics. If you didn't notice, if you're not watching on YouTube today, I have all of my beautiful face gems on from the brand new Wednesday collection. Wednesday is a fantastic artist and producer who came out with a cute little limited collection with Lunatics. So today I'm wearing some of the face decals and stickers, which are really, really cool and edgy. It's this graphic liner look, and then I added a couple little gems to it. But it also came with this little gem pack. It's got little pearl hearts and black and iridescent hearts and stars and all that. So these were really cute. I messed around with these. And then it also came with 2 glitters. So this is all curated by Wednesday with Lunatics, and it's available on their website. My discount code for 10% off is Emma K. Again, that's lunatics.com, and discount code is Emma K to save 10% off either the Wednesday collection or any of their amazing beauty and festival products that I love so dearly. So just want to shout them out. That will be linked down below in the show notes. With all that being said, I want to dive into this conversation. It's a long one, but it's a good one. So please enjoy this conversation with Melanie Monroe. Hey guys, welcome back to Rave Culture Cast. I am so pumped to be kicking off the new year with a special guest, somebody who truly embodies the spirit of the festival community. Melanie Monroe is the marketing director for the Festival Babes, who some of you might already know, but they are a network that empowers female-based creators in the EDM community. And she is a total boss when it comes to social media strategy and content creation. So her passion for festivals, marketing, building meaningful connections. Melanie has helped grow the Festival Babes accounts, as well as, made an impact on her own personal brand. So whether you are a festival lover, an aspiring creator, or just somebody who loves a good old success story, Melanie's journey is full of inspiration, hustle, and a whole lot of bass music. So Melanie Monroe, welcome to Rave Culture Cast.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
You're so welcome. This was honestly, we needed a yap session between the two of us, so I'm excited you're here.
Yeah, I love a good yap session. Honestly, like call me anytime. I'm down.
Hell yes. Yeah, no, I mean, just for some background for everybody listening, I followed Melanie like a little while ago, and one of my favorite things to watch is like how well you explain your story and your career path, and just like sharing really helpful
Thank
tips
you.
and advice for, yeah, just for getting like into the festival industry and the dance music industry, but also just like sharing your story and breaking that down for people. And like I always watch it and I get inspired. So I was like, this would be such a fun conversation to talk about the
Yeah, I
scene and
really am
getting
just
into it.
yapping.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what I do best.
We love it though. I love the yap sessions. It's great. You share really good information. So thank you.
It helps. Thank you. Yeah, I try. I do my best.
Well, okay, so today we're going to get into Melanie's background story, and then again, whether you guys are like aspiring creators or want to work in the festival industry, whatever it may be, we're also just going to talk about like festival trends in general, but we'll definitely be sharing some tips and advice for creators or like how to break into the industry, social media, all that good stuff. But I'm not too familiar with your whole background, so could you quickly like give us the 411 on yourself, where you're from, and
Yeah.
all that good stuff?
Yeah, I have, I think, what a lot of people would call a very deep lore. I've always been super musical. I'm actually from Washington D.C. Grew up like a little bit outside of D.C. in Northern Virginia. And I found electronic music when I was like 14. I'm 30 now, so it's been a pretty long time that
Mm-hmm.
I've been here. I think I first got into like Dead Mouse and Skrillex in boarding school. Actually, I used to play them
Nice.
in my dorm room, and I remember hearing Raise Your Weapon, and I was always like a singer. And I used to tell people like I was going to go on American Idol and like be a singer.
Nice.
And that I obviously never did that. But I just wanted to be as close to music as possible. So kind of as I started to get more into like my professional career, I moved to California. I started to get more into the rave scene out there. And I was like, I think I need to be like a little closer. I think I need to like
Mm-hmm.
really get in there. So yeah, music is like the absolute love of my life. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like if I didn't have music, like I would have no purpose. So
Sure.
the community is like obviously an extension of that. And yeah, so that's a little bit
Mm-hmm.
of the lore. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we're gonna dive more into it. Okay, so
Yeah,
when you
scratching the
move out
surface.
there, for sure. Yeah, no, but when you move out there, what did you want to do career wise? Like you said, music. So were you like fully any genre? Like I just want to work in the music industry, or did you have like any other like? Did you want to go to school for something? What was your plan?
I had no plan. I had
Yeah.
no idea. I
Yeah.
graduated from University of Kentucky in 2017, and like my only thing was like, I'm gonna move to California. Like that's what I'm gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
And move to California, and once I get out there, like I will figure it out. So I threw everything in my car, moved to San Francisco. Had a really tough time with that transition, honestly. And that's when I started to get. I had always been like really into bass music, but I was always really into future bass. And future
Okay.
bass was kind of starting to like die out a little bit at this point. So I
Mm-hmm.
was like, all right, we'll go full dubstep. That's fine.
Sure.
And it's just started to get like more into the bass scene out there.
Okay.
And my friends, I hadn't really done festivals. I was like never really allowed. I think I'd done Moonrise like one time, Outside Lands one time.
Mm-hmm.
But my friends were like, it was like the third year of Lost Lands, and my friends were like, "You're coming," and I was like, "I can't afford
Okay.
it," and they bought my ticket.
Aw.
And pulled me to Lost Lands, and it changed the trajectory of like everything for me. And that's when I
Mm-hmm.
was like, okay, I want to start like getting more into this, because like what the hell did I just experience? Like this is
Mm-hmm.
crazy, you know? That like
Sure.
first festival experience that like really kind of like ignites everything. So
Right.
yeah, that was kind of where it started, and it all just fell into place. Like it just
Sure.
I followed like what I felt like I was meant to be close to or meant to do
Mm-hmm.
like authentically, and just kind of found my footing. Like it all just maybe it sounds woo woo. Like I guess I just like
Yeah,
manifested it. I don't know. Yeah, but a lot of hard work too. So
for
yeah,
sure.
that's kind of
We love the
synopsis.
woo woo. I love the woo woo
Yeah,
over here. So I'm all about the
I'm
woo woo.
super
And
woo woo. Yeah,
yeah, and it's like, yeah, it can be the perfect marriage because I'm a big believer in that as well. Of like, it's not just a manifestation. You have to put in the work to actually like
right,
make the
right.
practical steps to get there. But I think even just having that inner knowing and alignment, maybe that's like the thing that people ignore or don't know like how to
Yeah,
follow yet. But it's good that you have that natural like, okay, this feels really good. This is what I want to
yeah,
do. I'm going to follow this path. And like to your point, it fell into place because I think you were able to just like acknowledge it and then be able to take the practical steps in a short amount of time to make something happen, which is crazy.
2.5 years. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
started doing this 2.5 years ago. So like looking back on it, I'm like, wow, that happened really fast
for
when
sure.
it fell into place. So yeah, I'm really thankful for all of it. Yeah.
That's so crazy. So when did the social media part of it kind of come into place? Were you like posting at all at the time? Was that something like you also wanted to like get into as well as music?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know this about me. I actually started out DJing. Like before I did like social media, like I literally taught myself how to DJ.
Sick. That's
I play
awesome.
guitar, piano, I sing. Like I literally like was making music from like age 15. So
Mhm.
that was always kind of like my vice. And then I was kind of like I don't know who's ever going to see me if I'm just sitting in
Right.
my bedroom, like making
Mhm.
music till 1 in the morning. Like, no
Right.
one's ever going to see me. I'm not going to get anywhere. And that was how I felt for me. And so I had a background in marketing. I'd done a lot of like food blogging in college. I'm a really big foodie.
Mhm.
And I had worked with like restaurants and stuff doing like content creation, and I remember like looking at my boyfriend at the time and being like, I think I could really do this. And he was like, so stop talking about
Mhm.
it, do it. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay. And I just started. Yeah. Like I was just like, I need that shift to get where I'm supposed to be. And like when I'm there, when I have the network built, when I feel like I'm, where I want to be, then I can like start to put my passion back into like making music. But,
Right.
until then it's like it really is a networking game. Um
Mhm.
and I was like, I don't even care if I'm making it. I just want to be close to it. Like I just want to
Right.
be in it. So
Mhm. That's crazy. No, I love it. Yeah, music's just been
yeah.
ingrained in you. It's just been layered from the beginning, which is just awesome to see how you've
Yeah.
kind of like combined a couple of your interests and passions into one. So that's so sick. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm excited to dive more into the networking too. That is definitely on my list because I think I agree with you. That's a huge part of this industry. But
Huge.
the festival babes, I feel like I have not covered them at all on my podcast as well. And I think it's a
Oh my
big name
gosh.
at this point. So I'm like, I'm sure
Yeah,
there are
it's
people listening like,
crazy.
I want to know more about like the inner workings and how it all goes. But do you remember when
Yeah.
you heard about them? And was it like something you immediately knew you wanted to get involved with, or like what kind of resonated with you about that brand?
Yeah, and this is like part of the manifestation, I guess.
Right.
I was doing just like honestly a shit ton of research. I was day in, day out, like researching every single avenue that I could take to like get into the industry, whether that was like content
hmm
creation or promoting or like, doing some kind of like hospo or like whatever I could do to like get in there. And the Festival Babes was one of the things that came up. I Heart Rave's Unicorn Crew was like one of the things that came up just for like smaller creators. At the time, TFB was like not really working with a ton of bigger creators. They really were like working with more nano. I think more like all across the road, but it was kind of before
hmm
like a big like boom of creators in this industry. This was like end of 2021.
hmm
And I just wrote them down. I wrote it down. I literally still have the passion planner where I wrote it down.
hmm
I want to work with the Festival Babes this year. And at the time, like I did not think I was good enough. And I think that's a really common belief that like a lot of us have is I was like,
Sure.
I have like 1,500 followers and I feel like I'm awkward in my TikToks, and
Mm-hmm.
every video I watch of myself, I'm like, oh, but like
Yeah.
I really just had to like, you know what I mean? Like, do you
Mm-hmm.
ever go back and
Yep.
like
We've
watch
been
your
there.
early videos and you're like, oh my
Oh,
God.
they're on the internet
Um,
forever.
I know
It's
that is our
literally.
digital footprint, girl.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
so it just I just was looking for every avenue, and eventually Kaylee, who's our former influencer director and one of my really good friends, she I guess like saw one of my posts and asked if I wanted to go to this like really tiny festival called Interstellar in Kentucky that I had
Mm-hmm.
actually already bought tickets to. So I was
Okay.
like, girl, I'm already going. Like I'm there. So I did that, and I met a lot of really awesome people through it.
Mm-hmm.
And then right after that, they had posted like a just an Instagram story being like, "Oh, we're looking for a new like social media person," and I was like, it's a long shot,
Yeah.
but might as
Right.
well like throw my name in there. Because in my
Mm-hmm.
mind, I was like, wow, I'm sure like 100,000 people are like applying for this.
Sure.
And I think at that point, TFB had like 14,000 Instagram followers and maybe like 1,500 on TikTok. So still like sizable for the time, but like still pretty niche.
Right. Growing.
And
Yeah.
and I submitted my information and I didn't hear back from them for 3 months. So I was like, all right, probably threw my name in the
Shit.
trash. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, oh shit, they don't care about me. And then Kat, the founder, who's now one of my really good friends, hit me up and was like, we think you're really cute and we want to bring you on as an intern. And I was like, word, I'm there, I'm doing it.
Sure.
And yeah, from there it was just like a really quick like growth trajectory because like I just worked my ass off.
Mm-hmm.
I went to like most of our events sober. I just like worked the whole time. Like I was like, I want to do this.
Sure.
So I took
Awesome.
it really seriously, and promotion, and now we have a team of like 20 plus people, and I have like a team under me, and it's very
Awesome.
surreal to have watched it grow like this, and just like my own I guess my own story of how I got kind of
Mm-hmm.
involved in it as well. So
So
yeah.
cool. I'm proud of you. That's so crazy. That's what
Thank
I mean. It's like
you.
it's of course, yeah, it's like it's fast, but I think there's just like a lot of valuable lessons in there because I think like you're wired this way, so some things feel really natural to you and I kind of like I think we're similar in a lot of ways, but for the people listening
Yeah.
who like wouldn't even apply and put their name out, like that is even a hurdle for people like they might just have the imposter syndrome and just not apply. So like I feel like lesson
Yeah.
number 1 is like you have to put yourself out there because you're not going to get anything if you don't even take
Oh
the first
yeah.
step to do it. So good on you
Yeah,
for applying anyway.
your fear of being perceived is holding you back. That's like my number one thing that I tell people. I'm like, your fear of being perceived is holding you back. Put it out there.
Mm,
Like, just
love
you
that.
just have to like suck it up. Yeah, even like, and sometimes people are really mean. Like, I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
you've dealt with it before, where like people are just
Yeah.
like mean for no reason, but it's the name of the game. That's always going to
Mm-hmm.
happen. And I
For
think it's like a
sure.
sign of success. So
For sure. Yeah. No, I think there's always like naysayers too, because it's like even speaking to the nano creators who think like, oh, maybe I shouldn't apply for this like affiliate thing yet because my account isn't big enough. Like, I just always feel like you just have to do the best with where you're at and like speak to your experience. Cause like coming from the YouTube side, I would always get comments on my videos of like
oh yeah.
the dance music and EDM snobs who just like obviously were way more veteran than me. I was a newbie at the time making these videos, but you know, at
Yeah.
least I'm out here trying and making videos and they're like cutting me down in the comments or like saying I don't know
It's so
anything. And it's like,
hard.
well, I'm still sitting here making the content. If you want to go make your own YouTube channel and make your own videos, you could. But at the end of the day, you're the person putting yourself out there. So like
Yeah.
you got to just like do it and post the content. But it's crazy that
Yeah.
you know, and also another thing I want to say too is like amazing on you for putting in the work and taking the intern role seriously because I also feel like there's some people who would be like, well, that's not the position I applied for and like, you know, maybe that's beneath me so I don't want to start from the
I had
ground
that
up,
at
but
first. I
you
actually
did?
did have that. Like, no, literally, like when Kat reached out to me, I went to my parents and I was like, I don't know. Like,
Mhm.
I'm 20, what was I, like 27 or 28? I was like, I have
Sure.
so many years of experience. I like my resume outside of the rave scene was pretty
Mm-hmm.
stacked. I was like, I don't know. And they were like, yeah, but like, could you turn it into something? Like, is this like
Sure.
a situation that where it's like just for now? And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, okay, I think I need to look at this differently because like TFB is a startup. Like, realistically, we are.
Yeah.
And I was looking at it from the point of like, what is this going to do for me? And I had to kind of shift my perspective and be like, what can I do for this? Because it is community based, it is music based. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's less of like a, oh, well, how much money am I making? And more of like a, this is a passion project. Like, and if it's really a
Mm-hmm.
passion project, is it really about the money? You
Right.
know? So I had to kind of like
Amen.
humble myself and go for it anyways.
Yeah. Oh, it's perfect. No, it's perfect. I love this
Yeah.
because I was like, there's gonna be such gems for hopefully people listening there. But I went through a similar thing. I don't think I've ever like talked about this jump, but when I left a
Yeah.
previous role and took the role with Beatbox at the time, I just
Mm-hmm.
like similar. I just wanted to work with them, and the only thing they had open was a part time social media. I think I was an assistant to start, like a specialist or something. And I was already like a director in the previous role. Like it was a pay cut and it was only part
Yeah.
time, not full time. And I ended up just I had like the means to combine like freelancing with that. And I took the role anyway. And like now I'm a senior community manager. So same thing as you. Like if it is the right fit and it feels aligned and like it's a passion thing for you, like the growth could just come really quickly. You just never know.
Right.
So I'm
Yeah.
so on board with just getting your foot in the door and then like
By any
leveling up
means.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, by any
Yeah.
means. Unless it's like a situation where like I don't feel safe or I feel like disrespected or
Mhm.
like really uncomfortable, like that's going to be a gut feeling to like not do it. But like
Sure.
I've never had that with TFB. That doesn't exist here. So
Right.
you
Oh,
know, it's
I'm
always
so
been like
glad.
a safe, like uplifting environment. So I'm
Sick.
really, really grateful for it. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, well, I want to know like what it entails now because again, like I've known Kat for like a couple years and have seen the brand grow,
Yeah.
and it's also cool. Like you mentioned around 2021 when you discovered them, there also has been this change like in the scene with more of these like
Yeah.
festival agencies now that like represent creators. Like we didn't have that a couple years ago, so that's still like a new thing that we're all like experiencing. But what does your day to day look like now? Like what are you working on a daily basis?
It's so interesting how my role has shifted because I'm the marketing director. And then my team is Maggie and Britta and Mars, who maybe you know from social media,
Mm-hmm.
probably because like some of these girls are like really big creators. And Maggie's our manager. She runs a tight ship. She's super organized. I mean, like when it comes to our social media, I would say I'm pretty hands off. Like I don't need to really do much because like they've got it covered. So
Mm-hmm.
my role has really shifted into focusing heavily on our merch line with Elevate 08. We dropped merch this year. So it's, you know, creating sales and marketing plans for that, promotional material, Facebook ads, like all that kind of stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
then right now, we're actually in the process of revamping our email newsletters. Something that we get a lot is, hey, we never heard from you. Or, hey, like, all I got was this
Mm.
one welcome email, and then, like, I never got anything again.
Mhm.
And and it's because like we are set up like the platform that we use is set up in a way that like that's just like how we do it. And
Mhm.
it's just always been like that. And as we've grown, I'm like, okay, I think it's time for us to like increase this level of communication via email.
Sure.
So we're
Mhm.
looking into like kind of revamping our email newsletters, doing more of like a monthly newsletter and then potentially increasing that to like bi-monthly so that we can like stay in communication with people. Like not everyone is looking at our Instagram stories all the time to see
Right.
applications. We really want to give like everybody an equal opportunity to apply. And a
Mhm.
lot of times people are like, I didn't see the application. I didn't receive an email. I didn't know about
Mhm.
this. So it's really like, I feel like it's on us to really communicate with our audience and our community and make sure that everyone is being given like as many opportunities to apply to events as possible or to get
Sure.
discounts on merch or to get like industry tips or things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been like one of my big tasks lately is like revamping our emails so that we're just like really cinching up that communication, because like the community really does mean everything to us. And I think like email is a really powerful way, a really powerful and personal way to communicate with people
Mm-hmm.
outside of social media like Instagram and TikTok or like a Facebook
Right.
group. And then I also do a lot of project management. So, like, obviously, every festival or event that we work, we have to have a manager on that project.
Okay.
So, that's when you're like vetting influencers, you're communicating with the client, you're planning the meetups, you're working with, any sponsorships that come through. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so that's like a big job. I know like Megan, our VP, she's managing like 5 to 8 projects at once. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think she sleeps, honestly.
Yeah.
And then, and so we all do that. And just
Yeah.
because of the way the business is designed, since we're still in like a startup phase, like we all have a lot of like experience managing projects. And then I also work really closely with Kat and Megan, just on like big picture stuff. We've all kind of been here for at least, well, Kat, obviously, it's her company. She's
Mm-hmm.
been here since the company started. Meg's
Yeah.
been here for like 3 or 4 years. I've been here I just celebrated my 2 years like a couple weeks ago. So,
Awesome.
we meet a lot and we're always in communication on like, what do you guys think of this? What do you think of this? Like, how can we, increase diversity and representation on our programs? How can we like give more nano creators these, opportunities for visibility? How
Mm-hmm.
can we like make our programs better? How can we make our activations better? So it's really like a lot of big picture stuff. And then cinching our internal operations up as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really interesting thing to like grow a startup and then like bring on new team members and just learn the correct way to train them and the correct way to, have connections with everyone when we're all like in different states and across the
Mm-hmm.
country. So it's a
Yep.
really cool, well-rounded experience that like truthfully I could take all of this and apply it anywhere, literally
Sure.
anywhere. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's like a brief synopsis of what I do. And I feel
Sure.
like that was long.
No, no, no. I mean, it's we have a lot of similarities, so it's cool to hear. But it's like,
Yeah,
yes, you are a startup, and it's still a relatively new thing. But it's just so cool to see how the brand has evolved and like the name that you guys are growing and
it's
just the inner
crazy.
workings of everything. And I know you guys have your hands full because you do a lot of festivals as well, which I definitely want to get into. But I'm
So
just
many.
curious. Yeah, dude, the amount that you have and like creators, I'm sure you're vetting, which we'll talk about like how to get their attention.
Yeah.
But this popped into my head. I'm just curious, like on your end, what has the response been like from the festival organizers? Because I know like that's something I dealt with a lot on my own. Was just like getting their attention and then eventually starting to actually like work with them one on one. Because for the longest time, I just made the content for free and posted it and hoped that they saw it or reposted it,
Yeah.
but now I'll like actually communicate. But I still think that a lot of them still go after like a traditional way of marketing, and like some don't see the value of influencer marketing. I think a lot have come around to it at this point. But for you guys, like how are you interacting with the festivals themselves?
Yeah. And that's changed a lot over the last 2 years. Like when I first started, we were hustling, we were networking, we were reaching out, like, does anyone have a connection for this festival or this festival? And now it's grown to the point where we don't do that at all. They really come to us
Mm-hmm.
because they've like heard about us through the grapevine. And that's
Mm-hmm.
like the power of this network, is that like the industry, you think it's really big, and then you probably have realized this, like you get into it and you're like, oh shit, it's like high school.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
really small. And everyone knows each other one way or another, or has like
Mm-hmm.
heard of another person. So that like word of mouth has been really positive for us. we've I can't even think of a client that we've ever had that's like not happy with um the work we've done or the product service that they've
Mm-hmm.
received from us. That like we really work hard to keep our clients really happy. um And yeah, it's just everyone wants something different, so like we really do like take the time to get to know each client, the vibe of each festival. And this industry moves really fast, and sometimes we're getting hit up at like 1 a.m., sometimes we're getting hit up like
Mm-hmm.
Sunday. It's, you really have to always like be kind of on it. And everything is done very last minute. So we have to
Sure.
like kind of prepare for that too. I think one of the biggest things that we see right now, as you mentioned, this like shift kind of happening into like influencer marketing, is that there are different goals for influencer campaigns. And I actually use Facebook ads as a really good example for this. If anyone's ever done
Mm-hmm.
Facebook ads, I'm really sorry. It sucks in there. It's like,
Yeah.
it is like my least favorite place, but like you can easily see, like when you start a Facebook ad, they ask you what kind of, like what your ad goal is. Is your goal brand
Mm-hmm.
awareness? Is your goal traffic? Is your goal sales conversions?
Mm-hmm.
And it is the same exact thing with an influencer campaign. And our main goal is brand awareness. However,
Mm-hmm.
like if it's sales conversions, like if the event wants like ticket sales, then we have to really like switch the type of content creator we're looking for.
Sure.
So it's a lot of that, like especially now, things have gotten really expensive. And
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of like, I think, big money makers in the festival scene that are like not making a lot of money anymore. One I can think
Mm-hmm.
of is alcohol. um
Mm-hmm.
I know you work for beatbox, so you probably like have seen this. Like I feel like the only thing people drink anymore honestly is beatbox at
I was gonna say
festivals. But
we're not
like,
having a problem with that, but yes, I know what you mean.
yeah,
Knock on
like
wood.
yeah, I've just heard it like across the board that like main alcohol sales are kind of down.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, where are they looking to like fill in those holes? What is their goal with the
Mm-hmm.
influencer campaign? What at their festival are they trying to promote? And it really is different with every festival, and that's what makes it like such a challenging kind of thing to oversee, because it's like we have all these festivals, and then we're like
Mm-hmm.
looking at Bonnaroo. What does Bonnaroo want? And then we're looking at
Right.
We
Right.
Belong Here. What does We Belong Here want? And then we're looking at, I can't even think of them because there's so many, but like
Yeah.
all
Yeah. And
of
they're
these
also
different
different
festivals, like,
too.
yeah, they
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
just have totally different goals. And some of them just want like, an activation or an activity. And
Mm-hmm.
so we do a lot of that as well. It's like more than just influencer campaigns. We've really
Sure.
taken to doing more activity based things. So yeah,
Sick.
it's just everyone wants something different, and we are so more than happy to like work our butts off to like make sure that every single client gets exactly what they need from us.
Mm-hmm. That's so cool. Well, I'm like, I can, for you, I can imagine though, like it's such a creative outlet. And because it's a startup, you're wearing many hats and you're doing a lot of things. But
Yeah.
because you're passionate about this industry, I'm sure, like, as fucking hectic as I know that it is for your job, like, I'm sure at the end of the day, it's like if you weren't passionate about it, it would be so much harder. But because you're working in the
Yeah.
field that you wanted to be in, there's like that thrill almost of like how crazy it can be sometimes. I don't know. Does that resonate?
Yeah, it's my mind is like spinning all the time. You can probably
Sure.
tell from how I like answer these questions about it, where it's like our brains just exist in like, a million different
Yep.
places at once, but I wouldn't have it any other way. So
Yeah. No, no, no.
it's the
I
life
mean,
I
and
chose.
for sure, yeah. And for the creator side, so somebody listening right now who's just like interested, they're tuning in to like learn more about what you're doing and how you got here. But if they want to get the attention of the festival babes, like what are you looking for when you bring on creators, and especially going into the new year now, like any new plans for like new campaigns or anything like that that you're going to be bringing people on for?
Yeah, yeah. So we just started a Discord. And the
Nice.
Discord is kind of meant to bring the community together, but also like give us eyes into people that like maybe we're not seeing, because,
Mhm.
we don't have eyes everywhere, and we would hate to like, miss a creator that is a really talented, like good creator,
Mhm.
just because we're not seeing them on Instagram. So it's like it's going to be a good place for like our internal team to connect with the community and like really get to know like our community members, so that we can like really
Mhm.
diversify our programs, really like bring on more nano creators is like a big goal for us. Nano creators in a lot of cases can be honestly more powerful than a micro or a macro creator because they do have that incredible trusting audience. So
Mm-hmm.
we are trying to put like more of a focus there. And we try to create opportunities that are not just for creators because we really do see this as like a stepping stone into the industry, and that's the
Mm-hmm.
goal. And we know that not everyone wants to be an influencer. So
Right.
we'll do like externships. I know we have a new intern named Leah. She's on our team now. She is incredibly hardworking, talented. And she was an extern for us for Wakan. So, for example, Megan brought her on, and she helped PM. She helped do all of our like activations. She helped work with the Wakan team, work with our community, do our meetups, work with the photographers. Like really, just a well-rounded experience of the industry, so that maybe you don't want to be a content creator, and that's okay. We've
Mm-hmm.
got something for you too.
Sure.
But yeah, for people who are trying to like create content, it really is just like it's about being seen. It just so
Mm-hmm.
simply put, it's about being seen and just continuing to like work to get your content out there.
For sure. Yay. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And I love that you're working with more nano creators too, because I think it's like it's awesome to see the opportunities. And I mean, even just like with working with people and kind of like knowing some people in the scene, I like discover new pages every single day, similar to what you said. Like I'll
Yeah.
click on somebody, and Instagram and TikTok are totally different. I'll like click on Instagram and be like, how have I never fucking seen this person
Yeah. How did I
before?
not know that you exist? Yeah.
Literally, and it's like they
Exactly.
have 15,000 followers. I'm like, oh my god, I've never even seen this person. But same thing with TikTok. So people are just like discovering all the time. So it's cool to have this platform to be able to like help push them out to more people, and then
Yeah.
also give them these awesome opportunities. Because I think a lot of people might just have the goal of like, I just want to work for the festival, or maybe free tickets is their thing in the beginning, but then they want,
Yeah.
like you, they fall in love with the scene and they like want a job in the festival scene. So it's cool that you guys are giving people that opportunity to just like get their feet wet.
Yeah, yeah, and you know what, I'm a really, really big supporter of like financial security. I've
Mm-hmm.
talked about this on my TikTok a lot. I'm never going to tell someone to buy a festival ticket that they can't afford. I'm never going to tell someone to like put a festival ticket or a festival experience over their basic needs. I think that that is
Mm-hmm.
like a really unhealthy part of our culture, to be completely
Yeah.
honest. Like when people are like, oh, I'm in debt for my festival ticket, or I'm couldn't pay rent, but like I'm going to Electric Forest. And I'm like, okay,
Mm.
I think like the opposite. I think that,
Yeah.
your
Reevaluate
rent
some
is
things.
important. I
Yeah.
think that like, having food to eat, having a roof over your head, like should probably come
Mm-hmm.
before that festival ticket. So that's something I've like talked about extensively. And if you are someone who's like, I have this like huge passion for going to festivals, I want to use content creation so that I can still continue to have this passion and like go to these festivals
Mm-hmm.
while, you know, not being in debt. Like that's also okay. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like do what you need to,
Sure.
It's not
For
hurting
sure.
anyone.
Yeah, no, and I've seen like a lot of conversation recently too, which is why I reached out, just about like the relationship between, it could be anything like brands, festivals, like literally anybody who reaches out to a creator for their services, and there's either like not a fair exchange of payment or whatever it may be. And I just, that's why I originally reached out, because I was like, this is such an interesting conversation. I've gone through this so many times at this point, like over the 7+ years, and I've seen it, and like I've been taken advantage of, and now I have better boundaries. But for new people getting into the scene, like a lot of the times they just may not know their value yet, or like they may see a shiny object and go after it and like not realize. But I feel like for the
Yeah.
naysayers who see creators complain or something like that, I don't think they realize like that if you are being contacted to provide a service to someone,
Right.
that you can be like easily taken advantage if you don't know your own value, or they're not paying you fairly. Like it's, oh god, I'm losing my train of thought here, but no, I don't know, is there anything you want to say to that, because I've seen a lot of
I
conversation about this.
Actually, yes, because this
Okay.
actually people have been talking about this for the last like couple of months, and I have so many thoughts on it. But my biggest thought is like contracts, contracts, contracts. If you're not getting a contract, I don't care how many followers you have. If that brand is not supplying a contract,
Mm-hmm.
don't work with them. Literally, you are going to get fucked over. Like,
Right.
and maybe you won't, right? Like, maybe you won't, but like, I just think you need to protect yourself in every facet of like what you do. So like,
Mm-hmm.
why would you, risk? I had a brand like reach out earlier this year, and they were like, "Oh, we'll pay you like $300 to like do this video." And $300, like, I'm saying yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, if you send me a contract, I will sign it. I will review
Mm-hmm.
it. I will sign
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And then, like, I will make your video. But without a contract, I don't feel comfortable making a video.
Sure.
And they sent me the product and never sent me a contract. And I was like, I'm not making this video because like
Sure.
I'm not going to like put work and effort into something that I
Mm-hmm.
like don't know if you'll pay me. And a lot of times they'll be like, "Oh, it's fine. We've never like not paid anyone." Don't listen to them.
Yeah, don't care.
I don't
Yeah,
care. Send me a contract. This is a
yeah.
professional agreement. So
Mm-hmm.
that's like my big thing. Like I see a lot of people being like, "Oh, I got screwed over by like this company." Or Danielle, the LA Raver. Love her stuff.
Yep.
She did like a
Yep.
whole series. Like I'm sure you saw it like on
That's
TikTok.
who I was like, oh
Um,
man. Yep.
that's what you thought of, yeah. And
Yep.
honestly, like respect, because like it is important to talk about these things. It is important that the clients who are requesting these services like do understand that they are asking for a valuable service that is worthy of pay. And if we don't all talk about it, then
Mm-hmm.
they're going to continue taking advantage of creators.
Mm-hmm.
So like I love that she like dove into the deliverables on the contract. And
Crazy.
like
If you guys
it's
go see
crazy,
her
but
page, go look at her
but
page so you know
no,
what we're talking
literally
about.
go look. Yeah,
Yeah.
go look at her page, because like I saw that video and I was like, oh my gosh, like there are people out there though that like when you're new, you don't realize that like 30 deliverables in exchange for one ticket is like
It's crazy.
absolutely insulting. It is so
Yeah. Yeah.
insulting. Like 30 deliverables is like $1,000,
Mm-hmm.
depending
Yeah.
on your
Yeah.
follower count. But like for her follower count, it's like probably over $1,000. So,
Right. And I just want to stress
um,
this as well. I remembered what I was going to say before. Sorry. So when people basically what
gonna
we're saying
say
is
it.
like, because I saw people criticizing Danielle being like, you're complaining, you're getting a free ticket at the end of the day. It's not about that. If this brand is
No.
reaching out to you, like they are not, quote unquote, using you. They want your voice, your content, your audience. So like your trust as a creator is fucking everything. You're not just going to like sell your soul to make another company money. Like if you feel aligned with this brand and it's something you think your audience will love and you think you can make great content for, like it should be a fair exchange
Mm-hmm.
and the terms should be in a contract and the payment, whatever it is, tickets, actual payment should be fair. So it's not a complaint because at the end of the day, it's your name on it. You're making the content and the product. You're vetting it to your audience. And if it's a shitty festival or a shitty brand, that's going to fall back on you. So it is
Yeah.
completely fair to like ask for payment, especially if somebody's coming to you for a service. Like they should be paying you 100%.
Yeah. And oh my gosh, there's a lot of like interesting stuff in this industry just because influencer marketing is so new.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people forget that like it actually is a business. Like it's a
Mm-hmm.
business. And I think people forget that sometimes.
Right.
And I think they choose to like overlook the fact that like, no, like it actually is like, I obviously like I work a full-time job too. So like I don't only
Mm-hmm.
do content creation. What I do for my full-time job is completely different from like posting some videos on the internet. So I understand that
Sure.
like the level of like difficulty is maybe not matched, which is I think like a lot of people's argument.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, like it is still work, it is still a job, and it still deserves payment because like when you build a platform like that, there is high value in the things that you're saying
Mm-hmm.
to people. And to your point, if you promote something that goes sour or that you don't believe in, the the authenticity to your audience is everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. If you don't have that authenticity, your platform is going to like totally go to shit.
Yep.
And it's just it's like the most important thing is like the trust in your audience. And because
Careful
like
who
at the
you
end of the day,
partner
like these are
with.
people. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
these
yeah.
like the community, like these aren't just like numbers, like these are people that we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about. So you have
Yeah.
to like really think about like what you're promoting to them, who you're promoting to them, how you're promoting to them, because like at the end of the day, like they're people.
Yeah.
And you have to remember
Yep.
that. And you know, I'm really big on like morals. So like
Mm-hmm.
if I don't like something, like I'm not doing it, or like if I have a sour taste of something, like I'm not doing it.
Yep.
And I like that a lot of other creators are like starting to stand up and like be the same way, because
Mm-hmm.
it's the right way to be.
Thank you for going down this rabbit hole with me as well, because I know I was just like, ugh, I just wanted to pick your brain about it, because it's really really tricky to navigate, and we say all this stuff, guys, just because again, the more people who talk about it, like you just may not know, and sometimes it can feel like an island as a creator, and you don't have any resources, and you're trying to navigate this all on your own, and maybe like you've never done coaching or you've never looked into resources. So I'll try and link some stuff below, but if I hadn't worked with like amazing social media coaches, or I've taken courses and webinars before, like I wouldn't know what to ask for, I wouldn't know how to negotiate, I wouldn't know how to like put contracts together. But I think, and I will happily link resources if you guys have questions too. Like we're both here if you want to
Yeah,
reach out about anything. But I would say too, at least from my experience in the festival industry, there's more professional brands I've worked with who are clearly a little bit more corporate and have, you know, things in alignment and like know these things right off the bat, and like they will come out with a contract. It's very like organized. And then I've worked with startups or smaller brands who like that doesn't even come up. It's just been negotiated via like email. There are no
they're like,
contracts in
oh, a
place. So
contract, yeah,
yeah, and like genuinely, like they may just be a small business or maybe a small raveware company, and like they've never done that, but that's on you at
yeah.
the end of the day. Like then you need to generate a contract template that you have, that you preemptively like send to these brands to sign. So at the end of the day, like that's going to be on you. Same thing with invoices. Like you need to send them an invoice to pay. Like make sure you are a business, so you need to be on top of sending that stuff out and following up as well. So it goes both ways. And I just want you guys to be like prepared
Yeah,
at
like
the end of the
literally
day.
protect yourselves at all costs. Because I
Mm-hmm.
think I can probably speak for both of us. Like I've definitely had some experiences where I've screwed myself over because I didn't know about these things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so important. It's such important education to like know contracts,
Mm-hmm.
especially contracts and invoices. I swear by them.
Yep. No, but I'm glad you're in the position that you're in at the Festival Babes as well, because it's awesome to know like you're advocating, um, for people, and you're going to be able to like help them as you bring them on, which is awesome to see. But yeah,
Yeah.
I had to pick your brain about that a little bit. But okay, we'll get towards like the end here since my camera died and everything. But I wanted to just chat with you since you're a music lover and a festival fan as well, just going into the new year. I've watched some of your videos, but if you could give people your top 5 festival recs for
Oh,
2025, what would you, and don't worry about the genre or whatever, like your top 5 favorite, what would you pitch?
how do I narrow this down? Okay, Halloween. I did my first Halloween last year. Previously, my favorite festival was Lost Lands. But after one hula, like I would go back every year. Best festival I've ever been to. Best art, just like amazing crowd. Highly recommend Halloween. Lost Lands, best production I've ever experienced. I'm forever a bass head and an Excision stan and a headbanger.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so partial to that one because it really did change my life. Soundhaven, my one of my closest friends helps run Soundhaven, and I know the founder Jared, and I just like don't have enough good words to say about this festival. It really is run on like the purest of intentions, and it's for the community and the music, and like that's hard to find these days. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just literally go to Soundhaven. Trust me. Wakan. Uh, I know I have a lot of Wakan fam on my TikTok. Thank God. I wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah.
I love Martin. I love the Wakan team. And I can't believe that I'm even like sitting in a position to be like, I know Liquid Stranger like by name,
Mm-hmm.
and like he knows me, and it's so crazy and surreal. But like They really do put like a lot of love into that festival. Very community based, very comfortable and safe place. I highly recommend it. And then another one, little different, but my last one would be same but different. I don't know if you've been to this one.
I have not.
Um,
I've heard of it though. Yeah.
yeah, I think that it's about to like explode in,
Mm-hmm.
gosh, my lighting is like terrible right now. But I
Yeah.
think same but different is about to absolutely like totally explode.
Oh
I
yeah.
feel like, wow, that's so much better.
You're good.
I feel like this is like a mini lightning in a bottle. It's on like a beach in Southern California. It's very quaint, very small. And it's just so special, like just has the best energy. And I feel like it's about to get so popular. So like literally go
Mm-hmm.
before it gets like really, really big and popular. Yeah. That's my
Love
five.
it.
I could do more.
Love that list. I haven't done any of those, which is fucking
Oh my
sick.
gosh.
None of those. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know,
You got
which
to get
is,
out there.
but I have heard good. I could not agree with. I've had a couple friends who have been like trying to get me out to Halloween every single year.
Yeah.
And we interviewed the founder, Michael Berg. And so it's on the list. I know I need to do. I've always had something. So maybe that 2025 actually might be a year I might be able to do that
Please
one. So
come.
that's
We'd love
high
to
on the
see you.
list. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's so
Yeah. Same
special.
thing. Wakan, I have like lifelong fans who go every single year who like absolutely love that festival. So
So
Soundhaven's
good.
the only one I'm like not as familiar with. So I'll definitely check that one out.
Yeah, it's small. It's very, very small. But that
Okay.
I think that's like part of what makes it so special.
Sick. Okay. And then I this
Yeah.
is a question I get asked a lot, but I'm curious how you handle it because everybody is different. When you are working a festival weekend, say you're going on behalf of the festival babes, what does that look like and how do you balance, doing your work, getting your content creation in, and then also still like enjoying yourself and being present throughout the weekend?
Gosh, I hate to say it, I'm really bad at this.
Yeah.
I am such a workaholic. Like I literally just like love what I do, and I've really struggled with turning my festival experience into a work experience because I just like want
Mhm.
everything to be like so perfect. So it'll be like typically I'll work until like 10 or 11, maybe midnight, and then after that like I'll be like, all right, now I'm free to like enjoy myself. But sometimes
Mhm.
by then I'm tired and I go to bed. So it really just depends
Yeah.
on the festival, the energy, like how things are going.
Okay, gotcha. It's hard. It's like
Yeah.
really, really hard to juggle. I feel
It's
like
so hard.
it also depends on the length of the festival. Like, I feel like if it happens to be a 4-day event, you might have like a little bit more wiggle room because maybe you could like enjoy one day out of like the four.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel you on that. When you have like stuff in the back of your head that you need to like check off, it's hard to like relax. So I don't know if you do it like
Yeah.
this. I've kind of found that now when I go into it, I'm like, okay, photos are immediate. Like I go in almost when doors open, photos are done. When there's good lighting or by like golden hour, photos are done. And then I try and do a different day. So I might do like brands, like brand content one day and then like just shoot it. And then I'm done with all the brand content. And then maybe the next day is like my own TikToks and content. So I try to like break it down day by day so I'm not like so overwhelmed. And then I'm like, after 8 p.m., 9 p.m., all bets are off. I'm going to go enjoy
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah. I wish we could do it like that, but like because we've been getting so into activations as well as the
Mm,
influencer programs, we're
yep,
typically
yep.
doing like I'll use Soul Fest this past year as an example. Like we literally had an activation every single day at Soul Fest. And then we had a meetup every single day. So the activation would be in the morning, the meetup would be in the evening. And then we had like all of our content requirements on top of that, and then any brand content requirements on top of that. And usually, like if we're with a clothing brand, we'll space it out by
Mm-hmm.
day. Because obviously, we're not going to throw 3 brands on the same day and do a bunch of like
Yeah,
outfit changes. So it's just, we're still learning how to balance all of that, but like it's so fun. It's like, it's an adrenaline rush, is what I would
for
call it.
great way to put it. Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
a great way to put it. I know. I tried to talk about it in the EDC Orlando vlogs this year because, like, and by no means am I complaining. This is just like to give you guys a picture of if this is what you want to do, how it kind of just like switches from like fan to like working it, like how it can be a little bit different. It's still fucking amazing
Yeah.
at the end of the day. It's the best fucking thing ever. The
Oh,
environment
it's
you're in is just
amazing.
crazy. Yeah, but no, I always say like when I, especially if I'm doing like the interviews and stuff like that. my friends are like, you seem on edge. And I'm like, dude, I just have like a pit in my stomach the whole weekend. Cause even though I'm there and I'm enjoying myself, like I know I have this like pressure of a big
You
work
have a
thing that's also
big commitment
happening.
though. Yeah, like
Yeah. So
doing
I'm
the
always
interviews
like,
is like a big job.
yeah, so and especially like the last this year I happened to do Sunday was like my biggest day at Vegas and Orlando. So all weekend long, I was just thinking about it like the whole fucking weekend waiting to do it. So it's like
Yeah.
you're present, but you're also like your brain is just being pulled in a million different directions, and it's like it's a totally different feeling than when you're just
Yeah.
flat out going as a fan. So I actually we bought just GA passes to Coachella next year, and that is my first festival in a while. That's like I'm literally it's not work. I have no obligations other than my vlogs I'll film. It's like
I love
for
that.
fucking fun,
I've
Yeah,
heard the
so I'm very
best things
excited just to
about
enjoy it.
Coachella. Yeah, I've heard like
Yay.
all of
Oh, good.
my friends from SoCal have all been doing Coachella for years, and they speak so highly of it. That's how Lost
Love it.
Lands is for me. Like Lost Lands, we don't work with Lost Lands, so like I will buy my ticket and I'll get a
Mm-hmm.
VIP and I'll go with like my OG Lost Lands fam, and they're
Love
all
that.
like super big bass heads. None of them are content creators, and it's just like it's kind of freeing to just like exist, and
Yes,
just
yes.
like go to the sets I want to see, like eat the food I want to eat, like no obligations. So it's like it's
Mm-hmm.
important to have, I think, an event a year like that so that
For
you can like
sure.
remember what it's
Mm-hmm.
like to go just with the focus of having fun. Yeah.
You got yeah, be a fan first for sure. Just to even like get the different perspectives of it and just like experience everything like with the base ticket and how, how like you started. So, that's really really cool.
Yeah,
Okay, my last few
that's
questions for
important.
you before I let you go. One of my favorite
Yes.
things to follow is your style and how that's kind of like evolved. So, and especially working with the festival babes, like there's some of the most incredible like, incredibly dressed people and I love their style. So,
Yeah.
how did you personally find your festival fashion?
It's so funny because I feel like I started in rave fashion, but I never felt like that was my thing. I just like kind of I don't know, like I love it, but it was never like this is my I have like a passion for fashion. It was
Mhm.
never that. And I'll always have like such a deep appreciation for it. I think my style is like always evolving. And I feel like my style goes with like the mood I'm in. Like 2023, like I was very much like, it was a very like magical year. I felt like I wore like a lot of like fairy like inspired stuff, very
Mhm.
like light, airy, earth tone type stuff. This year I've gone a little more like dark and cozy. I've worn a lot more like I just wanted to be comfortable, especially
Yep.
since I'm working a lot. I wear a lot of like just like all of the pictures of me at Halloween are like literally me in like a giant t-shirt for like one of the
Yeah.
artists that I do social media management for, and then like my big billowy pants and like a pair of sunglasses. So it's like
Mhm.
I feel like it's evolved so much and it just like follows kind of the mood that I'm in. So I'm really interested to see like what I end up doing next year, especially I think like as you get older, that changes a lot too. Like I just turned 30 a couple months ago, and I feel
Mhm.
like, I don't know, like I'm just not into like having my butt out anymore or like doing like a
Yeah.
just pasties look like for some reason. And I don't think this happens to everyone, but for me, I just felt like I feel more comfortable when I'm like a little more covered right now. Just feeling more conservative.
I could not agree
So,
more. Yeah.
yeah,
Also,
I think that'll be my
happy
year.
happy belated birthday. Welcome to the 30s. I love
Thank
that. 30s are the
you.
best.
Thank you. Yeah,
When's your
it's
birthday?
nice. November 21st, last day of Scorpio season. Yeah.
Ah, okay, nice. You're on the cusp.
Yeah, so pretty
Sick.
recent, like a month
No.
ago.
Yeah, and I totally relate to you on that as well. Like I think just like working has changed. I've talked about that too and done some TikToks and like some people are also just more modest. I feel like I've gotten a lot of questions over the years of like I'm just a more modest dresser. Like do I have to do the whole like rave outfit? And it's like no, there's so much other like
Yeah.
stuff out there, but it is funny just to see your evolution of your rave outfits. But I'm very big on the rompers right now. I feel like I wore a lot of rompers within the last like year to 2 years, which not easy to use the bathroom in,
I was gonna
unfortunately.
say I
But
think I have too sensitive of a bladder to be like
yeah,
romper all the time. But I do
yep,
like
yep.
I love that like aspect of comfort. Like I've been like crop
Mm-hmm.
top and cargo pants to
Yep.
most stuff lately, or
100%.
just like a big t-shirt
Yep.
merch, something like that. Just like I
Something
don't want to have to
easy.
put that much thought into it. Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
totally agree
I'm
with you.
thinking
Yeah,
about so
I'm
many
just
other things.
yeah, or just like short. I'm with you on that. I think it's more just like feeling like a little bit more covered and comfortable. Like I wore like high cut rave bottoms for the first time in so long to like EDC Orlando, and even then I was like nervous at first. My butt was just like out, and then at the end of the night I was like, all right, whatever, it's fine. We
Yeah,
work
I put
hard,
something like
so
that on too. And then I was like, I just don't want to have my ass cheeks out right now. I don't know how to
yeah.
explain it. So I put like a mini skirt on and just did like a mini skirt
Yeah,
instead. So
that's so
yeah, it's
funny.
I
I
think
feel
like
that.
the biggest thing with like rave fashion is like the whole point is like expressing yourself and feeling
Mm-hmm.
comfortable while you do it.
Yep.
So it's like if you want to wear like a sexy outfit and that's like your mood for the day, like do it. If
Mm-hmm.
you want to wear like pasties and a thong, like the express yourself, like do it. But if
Yep.
you want to wear
Yep.
like literally like a t-shirt and pants, like do it. It's the
Yep.
whole point is like doing what you feel is right for yourself. So yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
interesting to like watch it change and evolve. So
Definitely.
yeah, I'm interested to see how it does this year.
Same. Oh my God. Yeah. And it depends on the events you go to and also re-wearing fits. I have to
Yeah,
throw that out there too, because I feel like the pressure to like always buy new things and stuff like that is like unrealistic. And sometimes the people you follow are being sent those things for free. They're not spending the money on them. So
yeah,
rewear and rework what you have. I've reworn a lot and just like switched up what I paired it with or something. Or like you buy a base outfit that is just like I don't know, for me it's black, a lot of black outfits, and I can just like
yeah.
accessorize them so many different ways or like rewear them to a bunch of different festivals. So that can be key too. But
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I did a no buy year this year on Ravewear. Actually,
Oh,
I haven't
nice.
bought Ravewear, but I feel like that's not fair for me to say because like I do get sent stuff sometimes. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's not that I didn't acquire anything new. I just like didn't spend money on anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I rewore a lot of stuff or like
Yep.
stuff that I had bought for like previous years that's just like sitting in my closet and I'd
Mm-hmm.
never worn. I did that a lot as well. So it just
Nice.
I'm never gonna be one of those people that's like I did a no buy year, but then it's like I'm getting all this free
Yeah.
stuff. Like that doesn't count. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a
I feel
lie.
that. Well,
Yeah.
plug. Okay, so one plug where everybody can connect with you so that they can check out your rave outfits and your helpful tips and advice. Where can they follow you?
Yeah, it's Melanie K Monroe. Melanie is spelled Melanie. That gets messed up at Starbucks every time I go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would push people more to Instagram than TikTok. I'm gonna be, I think, probably like more active on Instagram than TikTok, especially since we're looking at a potential TikTok ban. I
Mm-hmm.
definitely would like to connect with people like on there more. And then I also have my newsletter coming out. You can sign up for it at the link in my bio. It's going to be like a lot of tips and tricks, industry ins and outs. It's for anyone who's an aspiring content creator, brand, or even an up and coming artist, and you like are making music but you don't know how to promote it on social media or like get it heard or like get the right people viewing your music so you're like getting booked. So it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
geared towards a lot of that. So I really love working with artists. And that's kind of like a direction that I'd like to go in the future. So that newsletter is totally free. I created it because I was like, wow, if TikTok gets banned, like I'm about to lose almost
Yep.
13,000 people.
It's crazy.
And that community is like, it's crazy. That community is a big deal to me. And it would suck to lose it. But like also,
Mm-hmm.
I need to I need to have the community in a place where like I am not like, oh no, my social media account got deactivated or
Yeah,
TikTok
yeah.
got
Yep.
banned. I lost them. Cause that really like social media can be so fickle with that kind of stuff. So like it's
Mm-hmm.
important to me to have that
Something
kind of
else.
like network built up just in case. Just in case.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Oh,
so
I'm
yeah, it's
stoked for it
gonna
though.
be a lot of like free stuff on that too, like a lot of perks. So
Sick. Okay, cool. I'll make sure I grab that link for you guys and I'll link it down below in the show notes as well. And then lastly, where are you going in February if people happen to be attending this festival as well?
I am going to be at Rampage, Sport Palais. I think it's pronounced like that in Antwerp, Belgium. I'm so excited. I've not been to Europe in so long, and I've never been to Belgium, and I've never been to Rampage. So
Wow.
hope to see a lot of bass heads there.
Hell yeah. If you guys see Melanie, say hi, say Rave Culture Cast sent you. This was so much fun. Thank you for coming on and kicking
Thanks
off
for
the new
having
year with
me.
us. Of
Thanks for
course. Yeah,
having
no, it's
me.
just we'll be in touch. It's just so cool to see your
Yeah,
career trajectory and everything happening with the Festival Babes. And I wish you guys like absolutely nothing but the best. And we're here to support you if you
thank
need anything.
you.
So thank you. Of
Thank you. We
course.
love you too. And our beatbox fam.
Yeah, shout out Beatbox fam. Guys, go give Melanie a follow. Festival Babes. We'll link all the important stuff below. And you can connect with us at Rave Culture Cast on all of the platforms. We are on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff. And we will see you very soon with a new episode. Bye, guys.